morning to one and all. I'm Venkatesham. I'm going to discuss about colligative properties. In this video, I'm going to discuss about abnormal colligative properties. In this abnormal colligative properties, when the solute is non-volatile solute is dissociation takes place, how you can able to find out the degree of dissociation. If the non-volatile solute is association takes place, how we can able to find the degree of association, right? So that we are going to discuss in this class. And first here solute is dissociation. The non-volatile solute is dissociation takes place, right? So dissociation in the case of solute, if non-volatile solute is dissociation takes place, what happens here? I can write here if the solute is dissociation takes place, number of moles of solute particles present in the solution is going to be increases. At the time there is an NP is going to be more than the, here it is an ND, number of moles of solute particles present in the solution after dissociation is more than the number of moles of solute particles dissolved in the solution. And here it is an experimental colligative property. Here it is experimental CP is always greater than the normal colligative property. And even when it is compared with the molar mass of experimental is always which will be the lesser than the molar mass of normal. These are the three situations will be related to this dissociation. I am taking that general form of a particular electrolyte which will be, here it is an AN is one kind of electrolyte and it will be dissociated into the N moles of A. And initially suppose I was taken that 1 mole of AN and there is an it will be the moles of Na is equals to 0 at a particular time, or it will be the N alpha. Alpha is the degree of dissociation and or extent of dissociation, and here it will be the alpha at a particular time and this will become as a N alpha and it will become as a, here it is a 1 minus alpha. 1 minus alpha, this is an N alpha. So total number of moles here, total number of moles is equals to, here I can write a total number of moles that is equals to 1 minus alpha plus this is an N alpha. At a particular time, total number of moles present in the solution is 1 minus alpha plus N alpha. Here in the case of dissociation, mainly two situations will be raised. One I can discuss that if a complete dissociation takes place, if 100% dissociation takes place, what happens, right? So first case is that complete dissociation takes place. If complete dissociation takes place, complete dissociation takes place. So if complete dissociation takes place, what happens? That solute will be completely dissociated into the its constituent ions like cation and anion, and always here Van't factor I is equals to its N. N is nothing but number of moles of solute particles present in the solution, right? Suppose I am taking that one simple example. Generally ionic compounds are the best example for this one. Complete dissociation takes place here. Strong electrolytes are the best example for this complete dissociation, right? So I am taking that here it is an NaCl is a one example. This NaCl will be dissociated into the, here it is a Na plus plus here it is a Cl minus. That means here N is equals to 2 and Van't factor I is equals to 2. Okay, so suppose if I will take that there is a potassium sulfate K2SO4 and it will be the strong electrolyte and salt of strong acid versus strong base, and it will be dissociated into K2K plus plus here it is a SO4 minus 2. So here N value 2 plus 1 3, so N is equals to, that is in a 3. That means Van't factor I is equals to, so that is a 3. So this is another example. Or you can take that even calcium phosphate, right? So calcium phosphate, this is a Ca3, here it is a PO4 taken twice, and it will be dissociated into the 3 moles of Ca plus 2 plus this is a 2 moles of it is a PO4 minus 3, right? So 3 moles of calcium plus 2 ion and 2 moles of phosphate ion is there. Total here N is equals to 5, so that here want of factor I is equals to 5 you will get that. So whenever there is a complete dissociation takes place, always want of factor I is equals to number of moles of solute particles are dissociated, right? So now here if there is a partial dissociation takes place, second case is that in this dissociation there is a partial dissociation takes place. So second case here partial dissociation and partial dissociation takes place. If partial dissociation takes place, definitely we can able to find out here degree of dissociation alpha value, and want of factor I is equals to, whenever the partial dissociation takes place, I can write down this is in a particularly total number of moles of solute particles present after the dissociation is a total number of moles. I was taken here 1 minus alpha plus this is an n alpha is the total number of moles, and divided by, initially I was taken only 1 mole here, so that we can write here I is equals to, this is a 1 minus you can take the alpha is a common here, or you can write alpha common means here it is a n minus 1. Okay, so from this I can write simply here want of factor I minus 1 is equals to alpha into this is a n minus 1, or you can write degree of dissociation alpha is equals to I minus 1 divided by this is a n minus 1. So this is a simple degree of dissociation.